Hello, brothers and sisters. In this podcast and the next, I want to show you some things that seem almost unbelievable, but they are actually happening. In this one, I want to show you a video about a recent breakthrough Microsoft just made. We talked about it in episode 164, but there has been more information come out about it since then. And it's something you just have to see to believe. Next week, I'm going to show you that the global government and its regions are forming right now. The video I'm about to show you is from a secular perspective, so you will see some secular themes to it. But pay attention to the information itself. There is no doubt that tribulation is directly ahead. Events are moving. They are moving quickly and quietly. Just as Jesus warned us, the vast majority of people will have no idea until it's too late.
On February 19, 2025, the CEO of Microsoft tweeted, "Most of us grew up learning that there are three main types of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Today, that changed." By 6:15 p.m., the internet was on fire. But this wasn't hype. This was physics itself being rewritten. Forget what you know about matter. The rules just changed. Because after 2 decades, 7,305 days, 412 failed prototypes, and 1 warehouse fire the SEC still won't talk about, Microsoft's quantum division has done the impossible. They've created a 4th state of matter.
I got a note from somebody that works at Microsoft that says, "We just announced this 2 minutes ago. You should see it." It was pretty amazing. It was a video that they released. It was about 20 minutes. Let me tell you what the CEO of Microsoft tweeted shortly thereafter. "A couple of reflections on the quantum computing breakthrough we just announced. Listen to this sentence. Most of us grew up learning there are 3 main types of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Today, that has all changed."
Not plasma, not Bose-Einstein condensates. Something else. Something Nadella's team is calling topological conductors. Materials that don't just conduct electricity, but shape reality as they do it. Think I'm exaggerating? The video they released shows a silver-black substance that flows like liquid mercury, holds its shape like titanium, and when they ran a current through it, the lab footage shows the thing twisting into perfect geometric spirals, on its own. No magnetic fields, no external triggers. This isn't some lab curiosity. Microsoft's CTO admitted on camera, and I quote, "This is the missing link for fault-tolerant quantum computing." Translation? That glowing alien goo in their petri dishes could be what finally makes quantum computers practical, scalable, unbreakable.
And we are calling it iPhone.
Today, we are launching a new model, GPT-4 Turbo.
We've had iPhone moments before. This isn't that. This is Newton's apple hitting him so hard the tree apologizes. Because when your kid opens a science textbook tomorrow, that 3 states of matter diagram, it's already obsolete. But here's the real question. If they've been working on this since the Bush administration, why announce it now? What did they finally see that made them hit publish? Turns out, the 3-state lie was just the beginning. Let's rewind. 3rd grade, Mrs. Thompson's science class. 3 jars on the desk. Ice, water, steam. All matter is one of these, she says, and we believed her. We built civilizations on that lie. Here's the truth. The 3 states of matter aren't wrong. They're incomplete. Like describing Earth as just a rock. Because for over a century, physicists have whispered about a shadow world of exotic matter, states that break the rules, states where atoms don't just vibrate, they dance. They gave them names: plasma, Bose-Einstein condensates, time crystals. But these were curiosities, lab freaks that only existed in $1 million freezers or neutron stars. Until today. Microsoft's breakthrough isn't about adding a 4th chair to the table. It's about burning the table. Nadella's tweet said it best. Today, that has all changed. Because topological conductors aren't just a new state. They're matter with memory. Matter that adapts. Think of Play-Doh. Squish it and it stays squished. Now imagine Play-Doh that remembers every shape it's ever been. That's topology, the mathematical voodoo behind these materials. Their structure isn't just physical, it's mathematical. Carve a topological conductor into a donut, and even if you shred it to dust, its quantum shape persists. This isn't evolution, it's rebellion. For 120 years, we've treated matter as passive, something we act upon. But topological conductors? They act back. Microsoft's demo showed a wire that heals its own fractures mid-circuit. A spoonful of material that learns to conduct heat 10,000 times faster after a single laser pulse. This isn't physics. It's alchemy with a patent. And here's what they're not saying. This fourth state was always here, hidden in plain sight, in the way spider silk self-assembles, in the quantum spin of electrons dancing at negative 273 degrees Celsius. We just didn't have the math or the arrogance to see it. So why does this rewrite reality? Because if matter can think, what stops it from deciding? 3 hours after Microsoft's announcement, a Princeton physicist tweeted, "This isn't a new state of matter, it's a new law of physics." Let that sink in. Because topological conductors aren't just another entry into the science fair, they're the master key to a reality we've never been allowed to see. For decades, quantum computing hit a wall. Qubits, those fragile quantum bits, would die if you looked at them wrong. Cosmic rays, a cough? Poof. Data gone. Microsoft's entire quantum division nearly collapsed in 2022 trying to stabilize them. But topological conductors? They don't need stability. They create it. Here's why. Normal materials are like sandcastles. Touch them and they crumble. Topological conductors are like ant colonies. Destroy a tunnel and the colony reroutes. No loss, no panic. Because topology isn't about what something is. It's about how it's connected. Cut a donut in half, and topologically, it's still a donut. That's the magic. Now imagine that donut is your iPhone. Smash it with a hammer and it reassembles itself because its shape, its topology, is coded into every atom. That's what Microsoft showed in their video. A wire frayed by acid healing itself mid-experiment. A chip that, when bombarded with radiation, didn't just survive, it optimized. But this isn't just about tougher gadgets. Nadella's team let slip one phrase in their press release. Topologically protected qubits. Protected from what? Heat, noise, time itself. Remember when quantum computers needed to be colder than deep space? Not anymore. These materials thrive in chaos. They're not just stable, they're anti-fragile. But there is a catch. Or a question, really. If these materials are so revolutionary, why is Microsoft the first to crack it? The answer is in the name. Topological conductors. This isn't a materials science win, it's a math victory. A decade ago, a reclusive Russian mathematician published a paper on electric braiding. Microsoft bought his patents for $2.1 million in 2019. Today, that math is the scaffold of their quantum empire. So let's be clear, this isn't a discovery, it's an unshackling. For 13.8 billion years, matter followed the same 3 rules. Now, Microsoft handed it a 4th. And the question isn't, what will we build? It's what won't we have to build anymore? A month ago, quantum computing was a pipe dream, a $30 billion carnival trick. Today, topological conductors just turned it into a weapon, and Microsoft's holding the trigger. Here's the dirty secret they never told you. Quantum computers were always possible. We just couldn't keep them alive. Qubits, the heartbeat of quantum machines, are cosmic divas. A stray photon, a vibration, they collapse faster than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Google's 2019 breakthrough? 53 qubits that died in microseconds. A $10,000 espresso machine that spits out 1 coffee before exploding. In their video, Microsoft showed a quantum chip running at room temperature. Not just running, thriving. They poured liquid nitrogen on it, zapped it with a taser, and the qubits? They didn't just survive, they multiplied. Because topological materials don't fight chaos, they consume it. This changes everything. Because until today, encryption was a game of math. RSA, AES, just fancy algebra. But quantum computers crack those codes like stale bread, which is why the NSA has been panicking since 2016. But Microsoft's demo included something darker. A topological encryption protocol they're calling Event Horizon. Once activated, data doesn't just encrypt, it disappears into the material's quantum structure. No key, no backdoor, just a black hole in circuit form. Rewind to Satya Nadella's tweet. This breakthrough isn't about computing, it's about trust. And trust is the one currency quantum computing just hijacked. Because when a topological quantum computer solves a problem, it doesn't just spit out an answer, it proves it's correct. No audits, no margin of error. The machine's physics become the proof. But here's the twist no one's admitting. Microsoft didn't just leapfrog Google or IBM. They've made them obsolete. Because topological qubits aren't better, they're alien. Imagine racing against a car that defies friction. That's the competition now. And buried in their press release, a single line. Partners will be able to access these systems via Azure Quantum later this year. Translation, they're not selling computers, they're selling time. Milliseconds of access to a machine that brute forces cancer cures, AI training, nuclear simulations, while your old supercomputer's still booting up. This isn't progress, it's predation. Because Microsoft's 20-year head start, it's written into the fabric of these materials, literally. Their 2014 patent for topological substrate synthesis covers the core process. And the US Department of Energy just greenlit a $5 billion quantum foundry in Washington state. Coincidence? Or colonization of a new frontier? By this time next year, your child's science textbook will weigh 0.8 grams less. The chapter on states of matter reduced to a footnote. A primitive 20th century model, they'll call it. Because topological conductors aren't just a fourth state. They're proof that matter has layers we never dared peel. And Microsoft's holding the knife. Newton gave us calculus and gravity. Mendeleev gave us the periodic table. Nadella? He just gave us living matter. Because topological materials don't just exist, they persist. But here's the secret they're whispering in Davos. This isn't about computers, it's about recomposition. The reason water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius? Because its atoms agree to. Topological conductors? Their atoms argue. And in that argument, that beautiful chaotic debate of electrons, we found something older than physics. Something that looks suspiciously like choice. The skeptics will howl, it's just a new material. But so is fire. So is bronze. So is silicon. History isn't made by revolutions. It's made by tools. And we've just been handed a chisel to reshape existence. The next decade won't be about adapting to this technology. It'll be about surrendering to its logic. Your grandchildren will study this day not in physics class, but in history. The day the periodic table grew a new dimension. The day matter woke up. The day we stopped being the smartest thing on Earth.